Yes, people, welcome back to another video, and I'm joined with Big Steve, man. The Champions League draw is done. The road to the final, it's pretty similar to last year, actually. The draw's been done. We got Real Madrid, then Bayern Munich or Arsenal, should we get there. And obviously in the final, there's a choice of 4 teams. Steve, what's your initial thoughts on that draw, mate? It's another tough one, but I guess when you get into this stage of the tournament, like, you're going to get a tough draw anyway, aren't you?
Yeah, listen, I think after last season, we've been there and done it. So we've experienced it. We know we can do it. I think the key factor is the second leg being at the Etihad. I think that's a huge advantage for us. I think Real Madrid have got to force it at the Bernabeu to get a result because they know what happened at the Etihad last time. So I think if they try and force it at the Bernabeu, we could nick something there. But I'm looking forward to it. It's Madrid. I said, let's go somewhere hot. We're on the same side as Arsenal. So if Arsenal get through, we're on an all-English Champions League semi-final, which is mad. But yeah, I'm excited about it, mate.
You know the first leg, because I agree. I think that like first leg and playing at home, is like well important. But when we go over there, do we have to have like a little bit? Because I think last year it sort of changed my perspective. Do you remember the Leipzig game last year when we went over there? I think we drew 1-1 and was all a little bit down. And then after the game, Pep Guardiola come out did an interview and said he's just been in the dressing room and all the players were really down. He said, "What you all down for?" And then obviously all the players were like, "Well, we've just drawn 1-0." He said, No, it's a great result. We go back to the Etihad now. You think last year changed our mindset now, where because the Etihad is so strong in these big games that we don't need. Obviously, we want to win. Don't get me wrong, but we don't need to win. If you get a 0-0 or something or 1-1 at the Bernabeu, especially because there's no away goals now, the goal doesn't really matter. That we're so confident at beating them at the Etihad that, like I say, just go to Real Madrid and make sure you don't lose the tie in that first game. Come back to the Etihad and do them there. That's because I think last year for me, it changed my perspective on how I view these games now.
No, exactly. It changed my perspective exactly the same, because what happened was in the past, City would go to these games, we'd try and force it. We'd end up losing. We'd come back to the Etihad, we're 2 down, or we'd end up forcing the job, and we'd end up losing Lyon, Monaco, teams like this knocking us out, and you're thinking, what's going on? But it's all about calm, relaxed. I think Pep knows the power of the Etihad. Rival fans like to diss it and take the piss. But we know that on a Champions League night, that Etihad Stadium is on fire. So if we go to Real Madrid and get a point, draw 0-0 or 1-1, and then we get beat 1-0 or something like that, we're quite confident we can go to the Etihad and turn it on. So I think it's just a case of being relaxed about it and not trying to force it, especially when you've got the second leg at home. Don't get me wrong, if you've got the first leg at home and you draw 1-1, you've got to go to the Bernabeu, you've got to go for it. I get that. But when we've got that second leg at the Etihad, I think that's so important.
No, I agree. And as well, I think you kind of mentioned it a second ago there. I think this puts the pressure massively on Real Madrid, because like they will know that going to the Etihad Stadium is tough. Like, it's probably the toughest place to play football in Europe right now. Like, we absolutely smashed them. We smashed Bayern last year. We've not lost there in the Champions League for so long. We've not lost there in all competitions since, I think, December 2022. So you're right. They're going to be under mad pressure in that first game at the Bernabeu. There's going to be an expectation from the fan base, an expectation from the manager that they've got to do serious damage to us. And I just think to myself, we go there, stay a little bit compact. That means keep the ball when we can keep it, defend solid, and then maybe hit him on the break to try and get a goal. Because like I say, I think they've got to try and hit us hard in that first leg, because they're going to know coming to the Etihad, mate. We absolutely smacked them last year, and in fact, the year before when we beat them 4-3,
1 minute off winning it.
Yeah, but in that home game, Steve, when we beat it 4-3, that was never a 4-3 game. We should have battered them in that game, out 6-0. You know, a couple of poor
naivety. That was the naivety we shown, because when we started getting goals, instead of sitting back, relaxing, and being happy taking a 2-0 over there or something, we're forcing it for more and conceding. I don't think we do that anymore. I don't think we do that. I think we're a lot more mature and a lot more calm in the Champions League. I think once you win it, like we've done, once we've done big things like the treble, been under pressure, I think now that experience is there, and I think we're going to the Bernabeu in good shape.
Yeah, no, I agree. I want to touch on the semi-final as well, should we get there. But before we do, I want to speak about Jack Grealish, man, because obviously, Grealish had a tough year, man. He's been in and out the side with injuries, and then he's not been maybe at his best. But we have seen glimpses of him being his best. I think there was a game against. Did we play Young Boys in? Was it Young Boys we played in the group stage or someone this year? And he did really well away from home. I don't know if you went to the game. Can you remember that game that we went away?
He played well against Copenhagen as well, and then he went off injured. He looked really good.
Yeah.
He's.
I think it's going to be so important, especially in that away game, mate, at the Bernabeu, where sometimes you can be a little bit rattled if you're going through 5-10 minutes where like you've not got the ball. Having someone on the pitch like Jack Grealish could be crucial. Like this is when he comes back from this injury. Hopefully it's soon. I think honestly he could be crucial in that game at the Bernabeu, mate.
I went to an event the other night at City, the Alvarez documentary. I'm actually in the documentary, so I went down to watch it, and I was talking to somebody there, and he actually said Grealish is training, but he's training indoors. He said he'll be fit for Arsenal. So whether that's true or not, I don't know. But we need him back. We've seen in the last few games the left side is a problem. We don't quite have that same balance and fluidity on there. You play Núñez, it's not the same. You play Alvarez, it's not the same. You play Doku, it's not the same. So definitely better side with Jack in it. He has been unfortunate with injuries. I think he rushed himself back last time trying to get too involved. He didn't need to.
Agree.
And I think Jack would rather be back for this business end of the season now. So even if he has to take another couple of weeks out, we've got an international break coming up as well. So if we can get him fit for Arsenal and the Champions League, then I think we'll be buzzing.
You know what, as well, with Jack Grealish, right? Even last year when we won the treble, you still had City fans saying, "Oh, he's crap, he don't do anything," even though like he's just won the treble and he was a big part of that. Now, right, you're getting pretty much everyone. There are a few City fans who still don't rate him, but pretty much everyone's now like, "We need Grealish back. We need Grealish," and he's seeing this, mate. He'll see the social media City fans saying we need him back. You'll see the comments on the videos, you know what I mean? You speak about it on your videos, I speak about it on mine, the Instagrams and that. He will know. So, like, I think when he comes back, he's going to be like, right, fucking, I'm going to get it now. You know what I mean? Big time. Because we, like you just said, we need him back. Alvarez, Núñez, Doku, as good as they are, and they all offer different things. It's not quite what we need in this business end. And I think when Jack comes back, like I say, that Copenhagen game, you mentioned it, that first 20 minutes, it was awesome, popping the ball off. That was probably some of the best football we played. And then, obviously, like you say, he probably rushed it and he has to go off again.
No, you're right. You're right. I think sometimes it takes somebody to be out of the team to realise what you've got. When he's in and around the squad, people are always calling for Doku to come on. When we've actually had to rely on Jeremy to come on, he's too young. He's very naive. He's very direct. There's been certain games where, put it this way, if Pep was 100% confident in Doku would have started at Anfield, but he didn't. He played a striker there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's played Núñez there. So I think Jack's the best on the left. We need him ready. I don't think Pep wants to play Phil there. I think he wants to keep Phil in around the middle. So, Grealish, we need him back, mate, 100%.
Yeah, no, definitely. Let's have a look at the semi-final then, should we get there. It's going to be against Arsenal or Bayern Munich. If it's Bayern Munich, then it's just the reverse of how it was last year. Arsenal, if you get to the final, then you're going to play in London twice, because obviously the final's in Wembley this year. Bayern Munich been a bit weird this year. I don't know how much you've seen of Bayern, mate. I've watched them quite a few times. They're still obviously a decent team, but they seem way off what they used to be. But again, that's another one where we'll be playing at home second, which is absolutely huge. That for me is just another case of going to the Allianz, getting a solid result, 0-0, maybe try and nick it, whatever, coming back to the Etihad and doing them. But the Arsenal game, mate, I'm going to talk to you about that one. Yeah, we've not typically done very well against English clubs in this Champions League. Tottenham obviously was disgusting. Liverpool. What you think it is about the when we play these English clubs that we just don't manage to get success? Is it just getting a little bit unlucky? Are we too emotional? Were we not ready? Just a bit inexperienced? Because everyone's very scared of City getting English teams because we've never been successful against them.
I just think it's because you know them, innit, and you play them week in, week out. You know them, so it's not the same. I don't think. You know what I mean? I think everyone, if we'd have got Arsenal now, everyone had been like, "Oh God, Arsenal." You know what I mean? But don't forget, we're a different animal to when we played Tottenham. We're a different animal to when we played Liverpool. we're the champions of Europe and we're treble winners. So nobody's wanting to come to this Etihad. That Etihad second leg is vital in this Champions League. It's vital. And the Etihad this season has not been the same, as it has been last season. Last season, it was a cauldron, it was bubbling. We had this momentum and we were going for it. So we've got the chance now to see these boys over the line at the Etihad. And this is where the club and the fans have to pull together. We need to make sure we're not doing stupid membership deals where you can buy a membership on the day and get a ticket for Real Madrid. Can't happen. Can't happen. Yeah. It needs to be, if you've attended 4 or 5 fixtures this season, you get a ticket. You know what I mean? That's just how it has to be. And we need to make sure everyone turns up, and we need to create an atmosphere and get this Etihad Stadium bouncing on Champions League nights again.
Yeah, I spoke to Martin quite a lot, and he said similar things, and it's been a bit flat this year. But I think this isn't just City. This is a problem that all of English clubs have. You know what I mean? I see it all over the country whenever I'm watching TV, and the atmosphere just looks dead. But typically it does turn up when the big games arrive at the end of the season, the business end. You know what I mean? Hopefully, like you say, City won't sell out, because if they do that membership thing, that is just selling out for the cash, innit? Hopefully they don't do that. Hopefully, like you say, it goes to people who've been before, and it can create an atmosphere. Because I don't know if you ever seen that quote from Marca last year after the Real Madrid game, where they said that Real Madrid have not played in a stadium like that hostile, basically for ages, and they said
it was a trap. Yeah. We set them a trap. We set them a trap. There's in the first leg at the Bernabeu, what was worrying me is Bernardo Silva. He wouldn't go at Camavinga, and I was thinking, oh, he's scared. And then when I spoke to someone at the club, he said to me, "Do you not think he was told to do that?" I said, "What?" He went, "Do you not think he was told to do that?" And I went, "What do you mean?" He went, "Pep sometimes tells the players not to do certain things. Don't show your hand." And I think City went there and didn't show Madrid the hand, because the first minute at the Etihad, Bernardo Silva's twisting him up. And I think Real Madrid were thinking, shit. I think they were in a false sense of security, thinking, we've been to the Bernabeu, we've seen the best of City, we know we can beat them. They got to the Etihad, and the energy and the level and the pace that we set, Madrid was like, what the fuck's going on here? Next minute, they didn't touch the ball for ages, man. And the next minute, before they knew it, they're thinking, you know what, we've been led down a garden path here. And that won't work this time, because they know what to expect. But I think the what you said, I think the Etihad's going to be in the back of their mind, and they're going to have to force it at the Bernabeu to come to the Etihad with something.
Yeah. No, I agree. But before we wrap up, bro, let's speak about Big Earl. Obviously, slamming it again this season with the amount of goals he's got. He's got 29 goals, 6 assists in all competitions this year. He's got 6 goals in the Champions League, including a knockout goal against Copenhagen. How big you reckon he's going to be in these games? Because he obviously didn't score in the final last year, and you hear these people say, "Oh, he's not a big game player" or whatever. They're waffling. Didn't score against Real Madrid, but did score against Bayern Munich in the home and away leg. Do you think that he's got a point to prove? Because with Haaland, and obviously you're at the club, you might know more than me, but I get the opinion with him. He's the type of player where you kind of don't want to slag him off as a rival fan, because I don't think I don't know. I'm just going off like what I see of watching interviews and that. But he's the type of person where, if I was to say to a striker, "Oh, he don't score in big games," they might go, "Oh," like confidence players, like Sterling. If you got on the back of Sterling, he's under pressure. Sterling doesn't thrive under pressure. He's a confidence player. With Haaland, I look at him, and I reckon these people who are saying, "Oh, he's not a big game player, don't score in big games," which isn't true anyway, because he scored against Bayern Munich. I think he's the type of player to go, right, I'm going to fucking do this in this next game. Like, do you get that sort of vibe as well from what you see?
I think he comes alive near the end. And I think, listen, don't get me wrong, he had 2 months out. He's come back. He's still scoring goals. Is he up to the level as last year? No. I think he's building momentum. And I think against Luton Town, he was great, obviously, with all them goals. He wasn't great at Anfield, pressing-wise, but you don't know whether Pep's telling him to do that. But there was a game before that where he was getting the ball from Ederson a lot, like he did against Arsenal last season, laying it off to De Bruyne and moving and stuff. So I think Earl's just Earl. And I think you can't afford to take him out of the team, because you see a game where you think he's not done out, and then he only needs one chance and it's in. And I guarantee you, Erling Haaland will have a say in this Champions League somewhere. whether he misses big chances and we go out, or he puts them to the sword and starts, because he's absolutely brilliant. And I think he set the bar so high that anything below that bar, people moan. Whereas you actually look at the goals he's scoring, and he's fantastic. He's leading scorer in the Premier, you know what I mean? So I think he's on his way back. I think he's not fully fit just yet. But
I was going to say that. Do you think he's fully fit? I think he looks a little bit slow. I think give it another couple.
He looked a bit leggy against Liverpool, I thought, near the end. His little runs at the end, he was just jogging it. He wasn't really putting anyone under any pressure.
That's why I actually think the international break for him actually might be a benefit, because he can go away, have a couple matches now in Norway, get some more fitness under his belt, and then come back against Arsenal. Hopefully, he'll be fully fit. Final player before we wrap up, man. De Bruyne, 14 games played this season, 13 assists, 2 goals. He's only played 1 Champions League game. He did get a goal and an assist in that Champions League game. He's going to have a point to prove, man. 2 Champions League finals, injured in both of them. Won one, obviously, lost the other. He's going to be looking at this year, isn't it, going right? Because he's going to be 33. I think he's 33 this summer. You know what I mean? So he'll be getting on for 34 at the end of the next season. He's probably looking at this saying, this is probably the last one, really, that I'm the guy that's going to be able to influence that final. And he's had 2 previous finals where he's been injured in both of them, unfortunately. I reckon he's going to have a point to prove in this one.
No, I agree. I think you heard interviews with him, and he always mentions them injuries in the finals, so you know it's on his mind. But listen, I don't think he's got many more years left at the top. I think this is his season. He's come back from a big layoff. He's rested. He's fresh. They're obviously managing that groin injury or whatever it was. The hamstring injury well, because they've not sent him to Belgium. You know what I mean? We've seen the scar. Looks like a nasty one. But at the end of the day, we need him for this running. We need him. This is the time we need a Kevin De Bruyne pulling the strings. Last season, he was doing it. This season, we need him. But, don't play him at weekend against Newcastle. He's obviously got a knock. A couple of weeks rest or whatever it is with the Belgium squad. He's not being there. And then full steam ahead for Arsenal.
Yeah, crazy. I've seen as well, when we come back from the international break, we've got 7 games in 21 days. So it's business end, and hopefully when the players come back from this international break, I think this international break's probably come at the right time for us. I think we need to win tomorrow. I think tomorrow's a huge game against Newcastle, because I just think we need to be going into that Arsenal game with a win under our belt and some proper confidence. But this is it, man. I'm buzzing. Do you think we're going to do the treble, or what's your thoughts?
I think it's so hard, the treble. People underestimate it. They throw it around like, it happens every couple of years. It doesn't. And as long as we're fighting on all fronts, As long as we end up with silverware, do you know what I mean? We can't moan as a football club if we was to win the Prem and nothing else, or we missed out on the Prem but we won the Champions League. Do you know what I mean? Even if we won the FA Cup, you know what I mean? We've got to be happy the run we've been on. But at the end of the day, we're going to fight for it with the champions, the players, the mentality we've got. They all know what it means now. This is the time when no one hides. This is the time when you can't go missing. So same with us fans. We've got to be here now. We're on the front line. We're fighting for the cause, and we've got to get behind the lads.
Defo, man. Defo. What you got coming up on the channel, man? What you up to these days, bro?
No, I've not a lot really. I did a bit for City today. I might do a Newcastle preview later if I've got time. I'm working for the FA tomorrow, doing a video about the FA Cup, and it's every city they go to. It's different video. So tomorrow is me, Foden, and Noel Gallagher, but they filmed their bit, I think. So I'm doing my bit. So. Right. I was on Qatar News this morning, having a bit of a chat there about Pep Guardiola and that.
Mr. Worldwide, isn't it?
Do you know what? I'm doing a few little things, good things. I'm trying to pick and choose, because I've been on the overlap. Obviously, there's been a big hoo-ha about that. Just to give people context, I had no idea that last end of the show was going to happen. We thought we'd finished. We're doing this other bit about owners. So I knew what was coming. Bit of a tough place to be, sat in the lion's den, fending questions that they haven't got a clue about, to me who hasn't got a clue about. So it was a bit of a nonsense, but I feel like a lot of City fans wanted to say what I said, and I think a lot of City fans wanted to get the point across. So I've done that now. You know what I mean? I've got the point across. I've said my piece. I'm supposed to be doing these overlaps once every few weeks, but to be honest, I feel like I've gone in. I've said my piece. Don't need to do it anymore. I don't need to be paraded around on there and clipped up to made to look a fool. You know what I mean? I've been honest. I've said what I know about them. The charges, 0. I've said what they know about the charges, 0. And just told them to relax. So, yeah, I've done it. I'm happy with it. And we move on. But I'm just picking and choosing, like you say. I'm trying to stick more in the City community where we're all on the same page and I don't have to deal with nonsense. And I went on the Big 6 the other night. I love the Big 6. I love the boys and that. But you just get dragged into shit. You know what I mean? And it's not where I want to be, to be fair.
Yeah. No, I hear what you're saying. All right, and well, listen, guys. Steve said he might do a preview for Newcastle, so maybe check his channel out later if he's got time to do it. But yeah, big up for coming on, man. I appreciate it. Hopefully, you guys have enjoyed the show. If you have, obviously drop a like, subscribe to the channel, subscribe to Big Steve. I'll whack the link in the title. And yeah, I'll be back tomorrow. Newcastle. Live watch along, live from about 4:30. Guys, this is a big game, man. We need to win this. I know some of you guys maybe don't see the FA Cup as big as maybe I do, but we've got to get that confidence up before the game against Arsenal at the end of the month. Peace out and enjoy the rest of your day. See you later.